This next level of toxicity is something that I have kind of put in. There are other people who believe that this can be a toxicity, and I believe it should be included in these levels here. Again, do your own research about all of these toxicity levels. Some doctors and psychologists and psychiatrists and therapists and whatever will pick and choose several of those and only focus on those because they feel they're pertinent to the health and well-being and mental health and well-being of people, of humans. I've tried to cover these, and I've added my own one, if you like, because I think it does have a detriment, it can have a detrimental effect because I have experienced it, I believe it. And this is the karma and past life toxicity. Now, if you don't believe in karma, you don't believe in past lives and that we become, in reincarnation or any of those things, then I suggest you skip this bit. But at least I hope that you would listen to it to see whether it resonates with you. Does it make any sense? There are specific belief systems in the world that really revolve around the idea and the belief system of reincarnation. I've always believed in reincarnation from a very young age because, as you know, I'm not going to go down there because you don't need to hear that story. But just take it from me. I have believed that this is not the first time I have lived a life here on this earth. And I have proven it to myself throughout my life many, many times with people that I have met, people that have come into my life for a particular reason and a purpose. And it's still happening. I have met people who... I don't know do I really say this? I have met people who I have lived a life and existence before in a previous lifetime. You want to believe that, then that's down to you. If you don't want to believe it, then that's fine. Do your own research. Pretty much everyone that I've ever spoken to, at some level, will recognize and kind of can be sympathetic to the idea, whether it's because of their beliefs or their spiritual or their mental, their mentality will not allow them to accept that they could have lived in a previous lifetime. There are ways and means. Again, there's plenty of evidence out there that you can test. I'm a hypnotherapist, trained hypnotherapist and practicing hypnotherapist. I'm also trained and I practice in karma and past life regression and therapy, as well as being a psychotherapist, as well as being a Reiki master practitioner. All of these things, and also my own belief system, time and time again have demonstrated and proven to me that I have lived, and people that I have come across in my lifetime have lived in previous lifetimes. What's this got to do with toxicity? Well, the thing is, people, as humans, we're very good at denying anything. We are very good at habits and denying that they are habits, even if they are detrimental to our health, either at a mental level, a physical level, a spiritual level, any of these levels. We have people that choose to believe things that to the majority of us seem absolutely irrefutably incorrect, but people will choose to believe them. Is it our place? It's not our place to criticize those people. Let me give you an example. That people believe that the earth is flat. Okay? I haven't got any problem with people believing that the earth is flat. If they want to believe the earth is flat, then that's fine. Is it correct or incorrect? I don't know. I have my belief system that because to me there is too much evidence that proves that the Earth is round, as are all the planets are round, and our moon is round. Excuse me. And so that's my belief system. My map of the world and my environment says that the Earth is round, but if somebody wants to believe that the Earth is flat, then yeah, go with that. I haven't got a problem with that. Does it affect me? No, it doesn't. If somebody wants to believe that their religion is the best religion in the world and that they are the only religion that everyone should be practicing and believe in, that's fine. That as long as that doesn't have a detrimental effect on me as a person, as a human, as an individual, and what I believe in and how I want to live my life, then you go with that. That's not a problem. I can listen to that person's belief system and the way that they, the way that they think and the way that they operate, but I don't have to take that on board. I don't have to be aggressive towards them. As long as they respect my beliefs, I'm fine with whatever they want to believe. The same goes with karma. The same goes with past life history. Again, you go and do your own research. It's quite an in-depth thing. The information can sometimes be a little bit grey in areas, but there is enough evidence around, in my opinion, to prove that reincarnation does happen, that we have a purpose here on Earth that goes beyond what we think it is. And if you want to open your mind up to what your purpose in life is, that's something that I can help you with, or any therapist that does life regression, past life regression, hypnotherapy, will help you to explore, because it's vast and it's sometimes a bit scary. And but it can be an eye-opener to things that happen in your life that you don't understand why things keep happening. Why is it that some people suffer in their life more than others? Even though you may have been born around the same time, had the same opportunities in your life, all of these things may have been very, very similar, and yet something sticks out that is different about people. They may not realize it early on, they may not realize it in the middle part of their life, they may not realize it in the end part of their life. It's different for everybody. Some people recognize these things from an early age, some people when a traumatic experience happens, or an experience happens in their life at a certain time that has an effect on them at a certain level, which makes them realize that actually maybe there's something a bit more going on in them, around them, that they weren't aware of before. Some people don't realize things like this until the end of their life, when it, in a way, is kind of a little bit too late, in my opinion. So I believe it's important. If you don't believe it, at least be aware. Read about it, listen to it, see if it sits with you or not. At least be curious about whether something that happened in a previous lifetime is having an effect on your current lifetime. If people choose to deny any of this, and they go through their whole life denying that anything like this happens, or that it can't possibly be affecting their current life, then to me, my personal belief says that's a level of toxicity that somebody doesn't really need to have. And like anything to do with psychology or any form of therapy or at any level, it's all about recognizing that at least something exists. If something exists and you recognize that this could be having an effect on your life, and that you're willing to at least understand, even if you don't want to believe that these things are tangible, that they are real, that they are happening to you, that they affect you, at least just acknowledge that it's possible is one tiny little step into kind of reducing that toxicity level. And it's a bit like all of these other levels. How much do you want to take on board? How much toxicity do you want to deny accepting? Do you want to keep believing that cooking food in aluminium or Teflon based pans and saucepans and such like is good for your health? Then that's fine if you want to believe that. But evidence says otherwise. Proof says otherwise. If you want to close your mind to any of these toxicities, that's your choice. That's your choice. You can't turn around at some point later on in your life and say that you were ignorant of these things, that you couldn't do something about them, because you can do something about them. And so the same goes with karma and past life, reincarnation. I can say from the bottom of my heart that I have learned this lifetime a lot about previous lifetime issues that definitely had a detrimental effect on my life in this lifetime. I'm sorry if you can hear some noise. That's our next door neighbour doing their garden. But and so, having an open mind attitude towards anything really, I think, goes quite a long way to starting that recovery, that awareness, and sort of becoming aware about the toxicity of denial of these things, of the existence of these things. And of course, like all of these, most of these things are within our control. Some of them aren't, within our control, or haven't been in the past within our control necessarily. But if they are within our control, then we have the ability to change, to make changes, to be aware, to correct something that, we may have been doing before that was unhealthy for us, mentally, spiritually, physically, and we can change it for the future. Our bodies, both at a spiritual, mental and physical level, are very good at recovery, very good at getting themselves in a good place, as long as we make that mental and physical effort to change, to be aware, and to make the progress, to stop the toxicity, or to at least reduce the toxicity levels. What's better to have in your life good for your body and your mental health and spiritual health and your immune system specifically, to have this much toxicity or that much toxicity? I mean, with all these layers, if you can reduce those layers and compress them down so that you within reason, you've got this much toxicity in your system and around your environment and what's within your control, or you can deny everything and believe that it doesn't happen, or that a map of the world is being given to you and that's what you want to take on board as being your territory. And here you are with this much toxicity. What do you think that's going to do to your health, both mentally and physically, later on in your life, or at any point in your life, if you've got this much toxicity, when you could have only this much, which is probably better for you physically, psychologically, and mentally, spiritually, for your body to cope with? Again, I will say it and I'll finish on this. Listen to your body. Listen to what your body is telling you. Meditate. Just sit quietly. You don't have to, just notice things. Make a journal if that's what you need to do. You know, like just say, well, I'm going to cut down on this and I'm going to see what the effects are. That's producing your own scientific evidence. You don't need somebody else to give you that evidence, because very often other people's scientific evidence is got an ulterior motive, usually driven by money. So I'm going to finish there because I think you've probably heard enough from me. I hope that you found this series useful, that it's opened your mind to other things that you can explore. And as I say, please go and do your own research. Don't believe everything that I say, or anyone else for that matter. Do your own research. Find out what sits with you, what you find congruent, what sits with you internally, mentally, physically, spiritually, and create the map and the territory that you want to feel happy is you as a person, and if you're lucky, with your loved ones and those people around you. And so that's it really. Thank you very much for watching these videos, and let me know on our Facebook if you want to interact that way, you know, what you feel about them. Alright, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you again in another video soon.